Welcome back to continuing coverage of the GAC Football Virtual Media Day. Up now, we welcome in Coach Paul Simmons from Harding University, as well as Michael Cendrick and Patrick Healy. Coach, we have all day. We've had the coach offering up an opening statement, and then we've had questions for both you and your student athletes that will follow. And then after your 15 minutes up, you guys are dismissed, and we thank you for coming on. So first off, again, thank you for joining us here. And Coach, we'll turn the floor over to you for an opening comment on the season.
Mr. Moyer, thanks for having me. If you can hear me right now, I'll be very surprised. I'm extremely low tech. So can you hear me? Okay. Man, it's that time of the year, very exciting. We've had a very busy summer and spring, and did a lot of renovations with our stadium, and those are still going on. Our game field's not ready to go yet, and so just a lot going on. But can't wait to get our young men back and to go to work. Certainly, it's you never know what's going to happen from a win-loss standpoint, but I can tell you that I love the team. I love the kind of young men we have. I don't think we've ever had a group of guys that had a higher level of accountability or work ethic, and so I'm just excited to see if we can put it all together and win a ball game or two.
Coach, we've been talking with a number of people about the growth in the league, and I think that's something that's very clear. Of course, you all have represented the GAC in the Division II playoffs now for a number of years consecutively, 5 years, I believe. And with that in mind, though, I think that there is a parity that's reflected in the preseason poll. You all edged Ouachita for the top spot by 1 point, and you got one more first place vote than Ouachita did. So talk about the parity in this league.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, this is, it's definitely not a two-horse race. Certainly when you look at the improvement of so many teams, both from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's great. It's great for our league. It's great for our league that we have more strong teams. But it needs to be a league where every Saturday you got to bring it or you'll get beat. And we're getting closer and closer to being at that spot. And we just have a lot of respect for the coaches and program in this league, and excited to see the growth. And it's great for us on a national scale to have more respect and get more teams in the playoffs. But we're going in the right direction for sure.
Patrick, I'm not going to say that the defense is underrated, because anyone who pays any attention to Harding football at all knows how strong and how solid that defense is year in and year out. Although I would say sometimes because of the unique play on the offensive side, sometimes the defense might get spoken about second. But talk about what you bring to the table and talk about the Bisons on defense.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now.
Yeah, we this year, obviously our defense is strong year in and year out. Since 2018, since I came in 2018, we've had a high standard. Our coaches have held us to, and it's been hard every year to meet that standard. But this year we have a bunch of guys on defense that are really accountable, just like years in the past. And I'm just looking forward to getting back with them during fall camp and getting ready to play our first game against East Central.
Michael, I'd ask you, I talk about people who, may not get as much attention. And I would have to think that a receiver in Harding's offense may not seem to get as much attention. Talk about playing receiver in this offense.
Man, it's definitely something that, you just gotta grow and love and really just appreciate. I think we've got the best group of receivers in the country from a character and accountability standpoint. Every guy in that room's really just embraced the role of it's not about me. If we win on Saturday, and we know we did everything we could to contribute to that, then we're happy. And so, it's just a bunch of guys just trying to win a ball game and love our teammates, try to be selfless doing it. And so anyway, it's really just not about individual statistics. It's, can we play as long as we can together?
Coach, I'd like to piggyback that question and throw it over to you as well, because I know that being someone who knows this offense intricately and intimately, that it is 11 players out there on the field, play in and play out. But when an offense is dominated and puts up 390 rushing yards per game, it might look like that there are some players that aren't seeing as much. But tell us about what every person on this offense means.
Well, when Coach Huff was the one that decided to go this offense, and there were several reasons why, but probably the biggest thing is as a football program, we want to be a group that is selfless. We want to be a group that is very violent. We want to be a group that pays great attention to detail. And this offense is such a great fit for who we want to be from a character standpoint. And certainly it's an offense where if one guy's out of sync, the whole thing looks bad. But when guys are doing their job, it's a really, really beautiful thing. But you cannot be a part of this offense. Number one, if you're not tough-minded. Number two, if you're not selfless. I mean, if arrogance or humility, or lack of arrogance and lack of humility and arrogance is who you are, then you're not going to fit here. And the fact that Michael Cendrick was a team captain on an 11-2 conference champion as a receiver that rarely touched the football, that just speaks to the kind of man he is, the kind of teammate he is. But I'm going to tell you, like you said, that entire group is the same way. It's 100% about the brotherhood, about the guys around you. And honestly, when I'm recruiting, if I call somebody and coach, it's about my touches and my stats, then there'll be one phone call and that's it. I want to talk to a young man that says, Coach, I want to play for a winner. I want to find my role. I want to do it really, really well. I want to be part of something that's bigger than myself. Okay. Those same characteristics that I think, we need in the world right now. We need men that are selfless. We need men that are willing to do whatever it takes for the people around them, for their families to succeed, regardless of what attention they get. And that's a very unpopular message these days. But we have gone out and found incredible young men like Michael that embrace that. But as a slot for us, you might go for 180 this week, and next week you might get 2 touches. And if there's ever a problem with that, then you're in the wrong place. I mean, I always tell my team, guys, if I have a sense after a ball game, we won a ball game, but I have a sense that you're not thrilled. I'm just reading your body language, but you're not thrilled about our win because of the role that you played, you won't be here. Okay. If there's ever a doubt about your excitement because of how many touches you got, or even if you played, then you won't play here anymore. It's 100% about us. And our guys are fantastic. I mean, our guys are incredible.
To Patrick first, and then Michael. The opening 2 games promote quite a unique challenge for you guys with East Central and Southeastern, 2 teams that had winning records last year, and obviously Southeastern got you there right at the end of the season. How easy is it to get into fall camp and start practices knowing those are your first 2 opponents? Patrick, if you want to answer first, if you don't mind.
Yes, right now, both of those teams are great teams. Our conference is very tough. You can't overlook any of the teams. So right now our focus is on East Central going into fall camp.
And then Patrick, to you, or sorry, Michael, to you.
All good. Yeah, definitely exciting. East Central was fun last year, getting to play them in the opener, and also got to scrimmage them in the spring with COVID. So you've gotten to see them a couple times. Then obviously the Southeastern game was a really, really great game and came on the wrong side of that. But definitely, yeah, like Pat said, excited to prepare for East Central, and that's kind of where our mind's at, and really just thinking about them, trying not to get ahead of ourselves. But it's fun when every team in the GAC, like Coach Simmons talked about at the beginning, the bar is raising for every team in the GAC, and you got to bring it week in and week out. There's no off weeks, and that's a fun thing when you've got that in the conference.
Coach, I'm going to ask you this about playing that full schedule. You know, there's no off week. The players have said it. You talked about what you expect of your team. In the previous 4 years, you all have won only one conference championship, but you've made it to the playoffs each of those 4 years. So clearly, there is a design from week 1 through week 11 and beyond. Talk about that you're able to keep the team focused, even if the conference title may not have been in reach.
Well, and we certainly have some extreme examples. You know, we were 0-3 in 2017, and we lost in the Final Four. Basically, that's not the design or the plan. We don't want to do that anymore.
You didn't draw it up like that?
No, we didn't draw it up like that. But I can tell you that I really do believe that if you come watch the Bisons play and we're 9-1, or if we're 1-9, you know, you wouldn't know just from being around our guys in the locker room. And we have a standard for how we do things, and it has nothing to do with the scoreboard or record. And that's served us really well when we face some adversity, without a doubt. And I think the other thing is, you know, we have tried really hard to build this roster for the playoffs. And I think our systems are made for the playoffs. I mean, you know, there's a reason that we've won 6 playoff games in the last 5 years. You know, part of that is, you know, we probably work harder than most teams in our league to have depth. I mean, I feel like if our third string guy can't go out and compete in our league, then we can't win versus the teams in our region. I mean, obviously that, you know, this is the toughest region in the country. If you can win this region, then you have a great chance of being a national champion. But, you know, you've got to have a long-term vision to do that. And, you know, to have guys, you know, the Division II model is challenging, because in Division I, you might play 4 ball games, have a bye week, you know, play 6, 7 more, then you have a few weeks off, then have a bowl game. You know, we play 11 straight ball games and we don't ride to the playoffs. 2017, we played 15 straight weeks. And to do that, you've got to have depth. You know, you've got to be fortunate with injuries, but you got to have some stinking tough-minded warriors that love to play, that recognize and expect to be having Thanksgiving dinner together, because we're not going home, you know, for the playoffs. And we have it. We talk all the time about, you know, every day I'm doing things in a way from a detail standpoint that I can be fantastic week 11. You know, we don't buy into the, you know, let's try to maintain throughout the season. We want to get bigger and stronger and faster, and just dominate the details. So when it's week 11, we have a chance to keep on playing. And I heard Mike say it earlier, you know, Coach, what is your goal? A conference championship is your goal, the first round, second round. Man, our only goal is to just stay together as long as we can. Have one more day, one more practice, one more game. Let's keep this bunch of guys that love each other out there together as long as we can. As long as we do that, then we achieved our goal. We don't want to go home. We don't want this special ride that these guys have been on to end. And, you know, we have a special bunch of guys. I mean, we have 7 seniors who've been here for this is year 6 for these guys. And, you know, when you're around a guy for 6 years, man, they become such an incredible part of who you are. And so we just, you know, what's the goal? Well, our goal is to see how close we can come to playing our perfect game together. And then our goal is just to ride the bus, to have one more practice, to be together as long as we possibly can.
Guys, if you all will, and I saw both of you all when Coach was talking about that and talking about staying together and playing just as many games as you can together, I saw both of you all acknowledge that. So if you don't mind, Michael, I'll go to you first, and then Patrick, tell me what that means to you.
Yeah, I mean, it means everything. You know, that's the secret sauce, I think, of this program, is just a bunch of guys that just love being together and love one another. You know, it's not about getting mine or about, you know, everyone else just on their own. It's a bunch of guys that just love each other. And, you know, we could play 16 weeks, go 16-0, win the national title, and obviously we'd be ecstatic, you know, but the next couple of days we'd probably be crying that it's over, you know, that we don't get to be together and share a couple more memories in the hotel rooms or locker rooms. But that's the secret sauce for us, that, you know, when I look across on the defense, or when I look across on the O-line at quarterback, and, look them in the eye. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind if that guy's got my back in the fourth quarter, if he's got my back in the first. It doesn't matter if we're 2-9 or 9-2. That guy's got my back. And so when that's what your team's made of, there's a synergy there, and there's a love between your teammates that I think that's the edge in winning ball games. And so Coach Simmons hit it on the head, and it's special. I've never been a part of a program like this, and a bunch of guys that just care about each other and love one another.
Patrick?
Yeah, just like Mike and Coach Simmons said, we just have a bunch of guys who just love each other, want to just want to be with each other, play hard for each other. I know I can look right beside me, and there's a guy who just wants to give his all for me, and I want to do the same for him. And that's what you're going to see this year.
Well, Coach Michael and Patrick here, we have reached the end of our allotted time. Unless there is any final question for the group, we will just thank you all for joining us on this inaugural virtual media day, and wish best of luck to you guys and the rest of the Bisons this fall.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. Our final team of the day, representing Arkansas Tech, we will have Coach Ship on with us. We will have Jacob Cato and Tyrus Fort here. They will be on here at 2:20. So we will see everybody back here in about 5 minutes, 4 minutes to be exact, for the final interview of the day.